these 2x4s get nailed to the piling first, and then these big boards, 2x12s I think, can rest on top of there and then get temporarily nailed in place and then bolted through the piling. So these are a real good tip, a real good trick for supporting those while they get nailed in place and then bolted. And then these that are bolted through have the cross pieces nailed, and then the deck on top of those. I was just about to start this part of the dock build when I noticed I wasn't alone here. So I stopped to take a moment and watch this adorable little guy that was fishing by my dock. The collapsed dock is the only place around here where this guy can fish or catch things growing on the seawall or those planks that have fallen down. Every place else is vertical seawalls or vertical dock posts. So, at least in this area, this collapsed part of the dock is the only place for a bird like this to actually hunt and catch things to eat. And it's so nice to have this first part done. This way I can just walk right out here. And these 2x4s are just temporarily screwed to the underside so those crossboards can rest on them. And here I'm going to cut the crossboard, and I've got it flush with the end there. And then I'm going to mark it on this end where I need to cut it, and I want it to fit in between those other boards. So to make up for the board at the other end that it's resting on, I set this here, and I can mark it with a fingernail, just enough to make a scratch so that I can see where I want to cut it, right there. And you can see those diagonal 2x4s are supporting this board that I'm hammering in place until I get it hammered in. And I got 2 nails straight in to hold it. And now the next 2 nails go in at angles opposite to each other. And they kind of pinch the board in a way that the nails can't pull out in like one direction. And now I unscrew one end of my diagonal supports and move them over so that they can support the next of the big boards that's going to go across. See, and now it's supporting the board that I'm nailing. Both the tip about the cleats nailed to the vertical pilings that supported that first square frame and these diagonals were both from a YouTuber that has a channel called Pascal. And he came over and helped with the dock along with the YouTubers from 9 to 5 list. Anybody who watches both channels is already aware that that's their catamaran at the dock. And so now that I've got those horizontal supports in place, it's just a matter of nailing down the boards for the deck, which is definitely the easy part. It's just like the deck that I built upstairs in a previous video. So I've got a little half-inch piece of scrap that I use to put in between to make the spacing between the boards even. I put the scrap in, shove the board up against it, nail it down, then go to the other side and do the same thing. And so this part's pretty boring, so we'll have to speed it up with some sort of montage or creative editing of some sort. And I love the way this ramp going out to the dock just goes horizontally straight across to where the lawn meets it. There's no step up or down or anything. It's just where it meets the lawn at this side is flush with the grass. So now I have to move the catamaran back where it was. And that's it. The other half of the dock, I'm not sure what we'll do with. It might be a boat slip. Originally, almost all of the dock was a boat slip. And here's your bonus video. This is an Osprey. He likes to fly around and then swoop down and catch fish with his feet. And he may spend the night there on top of that pine tree across the canal.